Hey you guys, happy Wednesday. As I told you guys on Monday, I wasn't going to be here today because I'm at a training. But here is your guys' journal or warm up for today. So what are some of the most important cultural contributions of the Harlem Renaissance that you may have been looking up yesterday? And which do you think has been or is the most relevant to you? So think about different ways, if you need some help, think about different ways that the Harlem Renaissance has affected us today. I could argue that if it wasn't for music like jazz and blues or people like, coming together to, just party it out, we wouldn't necessarily have, the music that we do today. Go through your notes from yesterday and your research and use that for today's warm up. So once you are done with that, please go back to the web quest that you should be about halfway or if not more done with since yesterday. And please finish this before you leave today. I'm thinking you might even already be done because it was like 15 questions that you guys had to look up. So if you finish early or you are already done, then the next assignment is also posted. And you can get ahead / just do it by the time that I come back. Because tomorrow, realistically, I'm not going to give you the entire class time to work on this. But so what I want you guys to do is you're going to focus on Langston Hughes. So he was a poet who was alive from 1902 to 1967, and he was one of the main, artists or writers of the Harlem Renaissance. So you should have read one of his poems already with this web quest in this Poetry in Motion area right here, and it's called The Negro Speaks of Rivers, I believe. So you can choose that poem to focus on, but basically what I want you to do is in your textbook, I want you to open that up and look at pages 898 and then 907. So there are 4 poems right there, and you're going to choose one. You're going to read those poems, or that poem, and from there you are going to answer questions and do a TP-Cast analysis. So I would just like for you guys to pay attention to the C part of it, okay? This is connotation. This is what we talked about on Monday. So essentially for this, what meaning does the poem have beyond the literal meaning of the words? So you really have to pay attention to the words that he uses, and then if he uses anything like diction or point of view, symbolism, any other figurative language, something like irony or allusions or metaphors or similes or whatever that isn't necessarily a literal definition. It's just to make you to give you like a positive or a negative feeling, I guess. And you guys should have already done practice on connotation with me on Monday. So use that understanding to do this. And essentially, you're going to be writing your answers on this form right here. So you're going to either read The Negro Speaks of Rivers, I Too, Dream Variations, or Refugee in America. And, poetry, I don't really like poetry, I will be honest, but be careful with choosing, the shortest poem or whatever, because usually the shortest poem is the hardest to analyze because, one, there's not a lot to go off of, so literally every single word has a deeper meaning to it. Okay, so you should still be able to write at least 1 to 2 sentences for each of these questions that you have to answer as an analysis. So if you are already done with your web quest, you finish early, go ahead and work on this TP-Cast. Make sure that you submit it, even if you are not done, because you can always come back to edit it. But if you don't submit it, your responses, whether you finished or not, will not be saved, and so you'll have to start over again. But please have the web quest absolutely done by the time I get back. And then this assignment, this poetry analysis, will be just if you are done with the web quest early, so you can get ahead for tomorrow. So anyways, please continue to be on your best behavior. I'm not worried about you guys at all. I know you guys are a good class or good classes. And then I will see you guys when I return tomorrow. Bye, everyone.